It's January 12th, 2026, a little after 7 p.m. where I am. This is Prophecy for Now. Thank you guys for stopping by. For those who are new and for those who have followed the ministry or seen me, welcome back. So the Lord has been impressing upon me to come on and give messages, and I have been trying to kind of settle in. I was homeless for 13 months, and now I'm not homeless. And when I was homeless, I was working, so I'm like the working homeless. So I'm still working, but I have new work that the Lord has assigned me to. So I have like new work. I have a new home, and I'm in a new neighborhood. I'm still in the same state, but a different area. So I'm just trying to navigate. And last week I was so tired, guys. But I know that He wants me uh, to share what He has been sharing with me. And I thought, because this morning I remembered that there's a message that I need to put out regarding a world leader who is going to die. And I believe the markets are going to crash when he dies. But I was going to look at my notes because I don't quite remember. He told me this last year, so I wanted to be as specific and as he was. It was a very short message he gave me, but I wanted to be true to what he said. So I was going to look at my notes, and before that, I was praying in the spirit, and he wants me to talk about something else. I am here with my God ordained spouse in the spirit. He's the one that's moving me, guys, right? It's crazy, I know. But in any case, we're gonna actually talk about that, like the kingdom spouse journey. We're gonna talk about that. And the last message I gave, the message came from Mark chapter 10, and it was speaking to the promises that we're gonna receive for those who left all and followed Jesus. And being homeless, that was part of the leaving all and following him, right? So that was a part of this thing. And every message in this ministry is related, right? And specifically to the wealth transfer. So I suggest, if you have not watched me from like 2022, that you kind of go back and get a bigger picture of what the Lord is saying. Like some of the messages are going to resonate. You already know these things, and some things may be a little different, or some different revelation that you haven't received. So I suggest that you go back, because every single message is related to this wealth transfer and this big thing that the Lord is doing on the earth. Okay, someone's here. They're giving me a message. I'm not sure what this means. I look like someone else. Okay. I'm not familiar with that person. Thank you for being here, guys. Okay, let's be respectful. The Lord is using me for some serious messages here. So this is not a time to compliment me on my looks, okay? So just be respectful, okay? And look, like I mentioned in my last video, if you didn't see it, this is a time of judgment. Okay, so we should be on our P's and Q's. Okay, let's be respectful and let's reverence the Lord. Okay, and hi to everyone that's here so far. Okay, so back to the message, right? So, in terms of kingdom spouses, right? The journey has been very long for some of us, and we know that, for the people who were standing for spouses, we know that they were prodigals, right? And that's been a common thing that the Lord has spoken to all of us who have been in this journey, right? This is what's been going on. But I think He wants me to add too that, like in the last message, He mentioned Mark 10, right? And we're going to receive lands and brethren, and all of these things, houses, with persecutions, right? So some of the people, probably all, all of the kingdom spouses that we were standing for were enemies of the Lord, in the same way that Paul, when he was Saul, was an enemy of the Lord and persecuted the church. So we we were persecuted by them, right? We were rejected and even mocked, right? And there's some things that we may not even be aware of that they did to us, right? Because they were like the Paul, when he was Saul, and they just had this religious spirit, and yes, so they were actually they persecuted us, right? So the Lord wanted me to mention that, right? And of course, they're no longer in that, they're no longer like that. But let me just read part of Paul's testimony from Galatians chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 11. Okay, so somebody's trying to be funny. Again, this is not really a time for that, But if you want to be funny, I'm not even gonna block it. Put it up there, and you will reap the consequences of that. Okay, Grandma, wear your glasses. Okay, you're gonna remember that. Okay, you will reap the consequences for making jokes. All right, the Lord is speaking. Okay, Galatians 1. Guys, I know some people, they kind of moderate and they delete things. Not me. We're not deleting anything, because that's going to be a reason. Okay, you will face judgment of you are judged right now in the name of Jesus. Okay, Galatians chapter 1, verse 11. And this is Paul speaking. But I make known to you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached by me is not according to man. For I neither received it from man, nor was I taught it, but it came through the revelation of Jesus Christ. For you have heard of my former conduct in Judaism, how I persecuted the church of God beyond measure and tried to destroy it. And I advanced in Judaism beyond many of my contemporaries in my own nation, being more exceedingly zealous for the traditions of my fathers. But when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me through his grace to reveal his Son in me, that I might preach him among the Gentiles, I did not immediately confer with flesh and blood, nor did I go up to Jerusalem to those who were apostles before me, but I went to Arabia and returned again to Damascus. So guys, I suggest you read that whole chapter, and also read Acts chapters 8 and chapters 9, right? Just to get a picture, right? So these people who are now Paul's, they are recipients of this transfer of wealth, right? Just so you know. They are recipients, and in this ministry, he's talked about who the wicked are, who the righteous are. So he's continuing the story and letting us get a fuller picture of what he is doing on this earth, okay? So, and I also mentioned this too. These modern times are like the times in Ezra, in which, God's men, they marry pagan wives, and they had to leave those wives and those children behind. So this is the modern version of that, okay? So anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for... I'm just trying to see if there's any more messages here. Okay, yeah, so thank you for stopping by, and I will see you when the Lord has me come back on again. Okay, God bless you guys.